Every animal on Earth runs away from fire, except one. About 1 million years ago, one idiot turned around, walked toward the burning forest, and stole a piece of it. Today, the guy who tamed fire. The first person to ever cook. The man who ate chunks he found in a bag. And the fool who ruined his breakfast and accidentally invented beer. The brave idiots died for the menu. These are the lucky ones. Let's go! This might be the single most important thing a human ever did. And it started with the worst survival instinct in history. Picture it. Lightning hits a dry forest. Everything is burning. Every gazelle, every lion, every sensible creature is running for its life. And one of our ancestors stops, turns around, and thinks, I want that. Which, evolutionarily speaking, is how you get removed from the gene pool. Usually. Now, here's the part nobody tells you. He couldn't make fire. Nobody could. Rubbing sticks together? That trick was probably hundreds of thousands of years away. So the first fire wasn't created. It was kidnapped. Grabbed from a burning tree on a stick, carried home, and kept alive. Like a pet. Yeah, y'all got fooled by your history books on that one. Nobody discovered fire like some genius inventor. A guy grabbed a burning stick and simply refused to let it go out. And this pet was a nightmare. You had to feed it constantly, shield it from rain, assign someone to watch it while everyone else slept. Congratulations, humanity. You've just invented the night shift. And this made the firekeeper the most important person in the group. Not the strongest hunter, not the wisest elder. The guy whose entire skill set was good at looking at a stick. Because if your fire died, there was no lighter, no matches. You waited for the next lightning strike, which could be months away. Some scientists believe entire groups lived or died by whether they kept that flame going. Imagine being the guy who fell asleep on fire duty. You didn't just ruin the evening, you uninvented fire. There's no apology for that. There's no, my bad, you are getting a new name. And it's not a nice one. Your only backup plan? Walk to the neighboring tribe and ask to borrow their fire. The single most awkward conversation of the Stone Age. Hey, so, funny story. But for the groups that kept it alive, everything changed. The night, which had belonged to lions and leopards since forever, suddenly had a no-entry sign. Predators don't like flames. For the first time in the history of our species, we could sleep. And then, one evening, somebody's dinner slipped and fell straight into the flames. And that accident rewired the human body. Literally. Nobody invented cooking. Cooking happened to us, and it's the best thing that ever did. Picture the scene. Someone's holding a chunk of raw meat by the fire. It slips, falls in. Disaster. That's dinner, gone. But then, the smell hits. That smell, browning, roasting, sizzling. No human had ever smelled it before. Someone fished the meat out, blew on it, took a bite, and became the first person in history to taste barbecue. And then delivered the first restaurant review in history. More. And here's why that bite mattered more than almost any other bite ever taken. Raw food is hard work. Chimps chew for up to 6 hours a day just to get enough calories. 6 hours! That's not a meal, that's a shift. Imagine your jaw having a full-time career. But cooked food? Cooking breaks food down before it even enters your mouth. It's pre-digestion. More calories, less effort in a fraction of the time. Over time, it's believed our teeth shrank, our guts shrank. Cooking basically sent half our digestive system into early retirement, with full benefits. And all that saved energy had to go somewhere. Many scientists believe it went straight upstairs. Brains are expensive. Yours burns around 20% of everything you eat. A big brain on a raw diet? The math barely works. Cooking paid the bill. So look, you are watching this video on a device built by a brain that runs on barbecue. You're welcome. And one more thing happened around those flames, something less scientific. People sat down, together, around the light, eating, talking, telling stories. The campfire wasn't just the first kitchen, it was the first dinner table, the first theater, the first us. So fire gave us dinner, and dinner gave us each other. beautiful. But not every food upgrade came from fire. The next one came from a bag. A bag you're not going to like. Remember the cow guy? Part 1? Squeezed the dangly bits, drank the result, changed human DNA forever? Well, his nonsense wasn't finished. Because early herders had a problem. Milk spoils fast. No fridges, no bottles. And the Stone Age solution for carrying liquids was an animal stomach. That's not a joke. You took a stomach, and that was your Tupperware. This was simply the technology of the time. So one day, the story goes, a herder pours milk into a stomach bag, walks all day under the sun, gets thirsty, opens it up, and the milk is gone. In its place, chunks. His drink had become chunks. Now, important life question. What do you do when your beverage turns into chunks? Because I know what I'd do. I'd scream. This man ate the chunks. And here's what he couldn't have known. Stomach linings contain a natural enzyme that curdles milk, the same enzyme cheesemakers still use today. His shaky, sun-warmed stomach bag was accidentally a perfect little cheese factory. Those chunks? The first curds. That scream-worthy bag? The birth of cheese. And cheese was a cheat code. It kept for weeks instead of hours, easy to carry, packed with fat and protein. And here's the beautiful part. Much of the lactose gets broken down in the process, so even adults who couldn't handle milk could handle cheese. Cheese was milk's way of saying sorry. So leaving milk in a bag, accidental masterpiece. Which raises a dangerous question. What happens if you leave grain out in the rain? Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. This final discovery might be humanity's favorite accident of all time, and it started with someone being bad at their job. Picture a storage pit thousands of years ago. Somebody harvested wild grain and stored it badly. Rain got in. The grain sat there, soggy, forgotten. And then the air itself got involved. Wild yeast, floating everywhere, invisible, landed in the puddle and started eating the sugars. The result? A funky, fizzy, sour liquid sitting at the bottom of a ruined harvest. 99 people out of 100 would dump it out. But you've watched this far. You know what kind of people this channel is about. Somebody drank the puddle. And a little while later, that somebody felt fantastic, warm, funny, suddenly very confident about their dance moves. Beer had entered the chat, and history's first Friday night was underway. And here's the twist that archaeologists are still arguing about. The oldest evidence of brewing, residue found in a cave in modern-day Israel, is believed to be around 13,000 years old. That's before farming, before villages, possibly before bread, which raises a genuinely wild question. We always assumed humans settled down and planted grain to make food. But some researchers seriously argue we may have settled down, at least partly, for the beer. Civilization itself, sponsored by Happy Hour. And it wasn't just a party trick. Fermented grain was storable calories that didn't rot like fresh food. It was nutrition. It was currency. Egyptian records suggest pyramid workers received rations of beer and bread as payment. Read that again? The pyramids, the actual pyramids, had a beer budget. Greatest wonder of the ancient world, powered by snacks and lager. Here's the thing about all of them. The fire thief, the accidental chef, the chunk eater, the puddle drinker. They weren't actually lucky. Everyone else saw a scary flame, a ruined dinner, a spoiled bag, a wasted harvest. They were just the only ones curious enough to look twice. So that's the lucky ones. 4 accidents. 4 idiots who refused to waste a mistake. Last time, the brave eaters died for the menu. These 4 tripped over the future and had the sense to pick it up. But here's what's still bugging me. Before that fire was stolen, what did ancient humans actually do all night? Pitch black, lions everywhere, no door to lock. How did anyone sleep at all? That story is next, and it's genuinely disturbing. So subscribe, because who was the first idiot to try that is a very, very long list. And tell me in the comments, which would you have tried? The stolen fire, the burnt meat, the chunks, or the mystery puddle? Personally, I'm not eating anything that used to be a beverage. I'll see you in the next one.